What's up, guys? I'm Jordan. Welcome back. Today we're not going to be going over a lick or anything like that, but we're going to be discussing how to actually get better at guitar. And there's many different things that I could go into today, but I'm going to just kind of organize it to 6 different concepts to follow to make sure that you are seeing the progress that you want. And to be honest, it's not that complicated. Before we get into number one, kind of a building block to that is knowing yourself, knowing ways that you learn better just throughout your life. Just kind of look back, oh, I learned this well when I do things like this, that, or the other thing. Just being aware of that and bringing that to the guitar is going to be very beneficial. All right, number one is a must, in my opinion, and it's very, very obvious pretty much, is to have very, very clear goals. Is it to learn a certain amount of songs, be able to play different techniques and solos, know the fretboard? Is it a combination of many things? Do you want to be able to write your own songs? Or do you be like, I just want to be able to play with a band. That's my goal. So whatever gets me there, whatever your goal is, have it clearly unified and organized so that every day you pick the guitar up, you can make sure that you're making the progress in that direction. Our goals guide us day in and day out of what we want to learn and sit down and practice and make sure we're playing every day. And also, it's hard to keep yourself accountable to something that you don't even know what you're really doing. Like when you set 3 to 5 clear goals that you're always working on, you can make sure every day, oh, did I work on this? Did I work on that? Did I work on this other thing? When you're kind of just aimlessly picking the guitar up, it's easy to just, like, one day you're doing this one thing, the other day you're doing this other thing. And it's honestly just hard to get better at guitar if we don't know what we're working towards. Now, a couple things for me that I always found like inspiring and I would always want to go back to is I would find either songs or like live video solos of different like ways of guitar playing I wanted to work on. For example, like Paul Gilbert's first instructional video, the intro solo, like I just love watching that. And it was just so inspiring. Like that's what I want to work towards. I want to be working and getting close to that as best I can every day. When I was really big into technique and stuff like that, I had like videos of Rick Graham I always looked to, and I literally watched every day to keep me focused and inspired and motivated to work towards those ways of playing guitar. So I'd highly recommend that. Like have a song that you listen to every day that's like your goal song to be able to play. Have these videos that you look at to inspire you, to really keep you focused and aligned on your goals. And it's really that inspiration day in and day out that's really, really valuable. And I find the best way is just to keep looking back every day, like multiple times throughout the day, maybe even watch and listen to these videos just to inspire you, motivate you, and keep you focused. All right, that's number one. And then number two, in my opinion, if you want to get better at guitar and you don't at least do this, it's almost, I think you're almost lying to yourself. You have to, at least in my opinion, play guitar 30 minutes a day. Find 30 minutes every day, not one day a week for 5 hours or something like that. 30 minutes a day is way better than that. Now, if you can do more, obviously do more if you can, but make yourself at least do 30 minutes a day. I mean, you can't expect to actually be seeing results, improving on guitar if you're not grabbing the guitar consistently day in and day out. Now, that one's obvious as well, but it's so easy for many players to pick up a guitar 3 days in a row and then take 2 days off, or practice 10 minutes here, miss a day, practice an hour and a half there. Just make sure that you find a way in your day-to-day to get 30 minutes of playing in. Because honestly, without that, the next points I want to kind of bring forth to you to get better at guitar, it's not really, there's nothing we can do if we're not grabbing the guitar consistently. Nothing's going to help us. Now, this is kind of like what I briefly brought up in point one, but number three, and as I've taught more players over the years and just kind of looked at my playing as well, you are shaped by the players that you look at and listen to on a day-to-day basis. So when you set those goals and you have those kind of inspirational songs and goal songs you want to be able to play, or licks and solos you want to be able to play on guitar, also have artists and bands and guitar players that are dream artists that you want to be able to play like in the future, and listen to them every day. Always, like I remember in like when I used to practice an absolute way too much, I literally listened to Guthrie Govan Erotic Cakes album every day, like Joe Satriani Extremis, Steve Vai Passion and Warfare. Anyways, I had these albums on a rotation literally every day. I listened to them, and it was number one, it helped keep me focused, motivated, inspired. But there's something that happens when you train your ear to hear that. It helps you get better at guitar. The guitar players you listen to, if you listen to them properly, is going to make you sound closer and closer to them without you even doing anything extra. So be very, very aware of what you're listening to and make sure you're listening to people that you want to play like. Like if your goal is to be a great guitar player and you're listening to modern pop on the radio, it's not going to be helping. It's probably going to make you worse. So make sure you have a clear, I would even make like a Spotify playlist or something of people you want to be like. If it's John Mayer, if it's BB King, if it's Stevie Ray Vaughan, if it's Yngwie Malmsteen, Van Halen, whoever it is, make sure every day that you allot a time to listen to them with enjoyment, but also focus and curiosity. And it's literally going to make you a better guitar player without you even having to grab the guitar. I promise. Point number 4, and this builds on everything we previously talked about and kind of adds some layers to it. And that's to realize and be open to your musical journey in guitar playing and let it move in different seasons. You might have your winter season, you might have your spring season, your summer season, and this will affect your goals, number 1. So you might have a season where your goal is alternate picking. You might have another season where it's composing solos. And with that, have those, like I brought up earlier, like those videos you watch every day or those songs and solos you listen to every day to keep you inspired and motivated, have those adapt with you season by season and also who you listen to. So you might have a season where you listen to a lot of Van Halen, then another season where you listen to I don't know, a lot of Joe Pass or something. You go into a very jazz season and have that morph with your goals and be open. Okay, I'm going heavily into alternate picking. I want to listen to a lot of great alternate picking players. Okay, now I want to move more into a heavy blues season of my playing. I might put away listen to Paul Gilbert and different alternate pickers for a while and focus more on BB King, Stevie Ray Vaughan, Eric Clapton, whoever it might be, and be aware of those seasons and make sure to flow everything that you're doing around that. And it's just going to make it so much easier. It's so much easier to become a better blues guitar player when every day you're listening to all the great blues guitar players and you're listening to these great, like maybe a live solo that you want to be able to play one day. When you're doing that every day, day in and out, even if you're only grabbing the guitar for 30 minutes, if you're listening to these guys and being inspired in that direction, it's going to make you move in that direction much more easily. And it's not that you can't listen to Yngwie Malmsteen while you're trying to become a better blues guitar player, but you definitely should prioritize listening to someone else other than Yngwie Malmsteen when you're doing that. So just be aware of that. And with the seasons, sometimes it happens naturally and you just kind of let it flow and you let your focus and your attentiveness move in these different directions. And then some of you might have to be a little bit more strategic. You might have to use this as a way to fight boredom. Some people, they get bored sitting down doing the same thing over and over again. So maybe you have to do little 1 month long seasons, or maybe even 2 week long seasons, or 3 month long seasons where you're going in and out of these different horizons. Where I probably is I could sit down for like 6 months to a year in one season and not really get bored or anything like that. Not everybody's like that. So just be aware of your natural flow of what you like to learn and play and your focus and your attentiveness and guide through your seasons of playing. Oh, I'm really focused on alternate picking. I'm going to listen to these guys. I'm going to be inspired by these solos. I'm going to practice these different techniques. And then I'm more inspired into the jazz world. I'm listening to Joe Pass, Wes Montgomery, George Benson, whoever, right? And I'm going to Pat Metheny. I'm going to lean more in this direction. Listen to them, learn their songs, learn their solos, and just approach the guitar more in that direction. The last thing, I don't know where to put this, so I'm going to just put this in part 4 here, is to stop learning so much. When you're in a season, learn things in that season, but also don't grab the guitar and need to learn something every day, right? Especially if you're in a blues season, you stop learning shred alternate picking licks, right? Because that's just going to distract and take away from your progress in that specific lane that you're working on developing. It's actually kind of funny. I see a lot of players nowadays where they're learning too much. They're learning too many new things and they're never getting anything down, because today they learn something new, they work on a little bit. Tomorrow they learn something new, they work on a little bit. And there's never this time of refinement and actually getting it down. So when you're in this season of whatever specific area that you're developing, focus on it and make sure not to keep learning new things outside of that. Keep focused on that lane. Even if something cool comes up, like maybe archive it somehow and like, okay, I'll get to that later, and have the discipline to not sit down and learn it, because you need to stay focused for that period of time to really, really achieve these goals and get better at what you're working on. The 5th thing is probably the most important thing in my opinion, and it again builds on all these other things, and that's to develop a trackable practice routine, right? Not just a practice routine, but a trackable practice routine. And also I need to add on to that, one that you'll follow every day. Whether you're just naturally able to follow it, or maybe you have to be a little bit more disciplined to follow it, whatever it is, make sure it's something that you can do every day and that it's trackable. Because you can be like, say it's a 3-month long season of whatever you're working on. Have a way to know where you started and be able to look at it 2 weeks in, a month in, a month and a half in, 2 months in. Oh, am I making the progress? Do I need to make any tweaks to this routine? Do I need to learn more new stuff? Do I need to stop learning stuff? And then you can look back after 3 months or at the end of the season, you can be like, okay, I got better at here, here, here. And I would really recommend with this, videoing yourself and recording yourself so you can look back. It's almost like a weight loss transformation or something like that. Like record your playing and capture that on film and do that every few weeks, every month, every season. And then you can go back and be like, oh, that's how I played it 3 months ago. Now I play like this and it's way better on these particular areas, right? Without really being able to track what we're doing, how do we know that we're getting better? We're kind of aimlessly practicing, we're aimlessly playing. We can't really day in and day out be like, I got better at this today, I got better at that today, I got better at this today. But when it's a trackable, consistent routine that you're doing day in and day out, you can guarantee that you're getting better. All right, the sixth and final thing, and this is just kind of something I personally like to do in my playing, and I think it's good for everyone to try to find the time to every day practice these certain things. I call them like the daily minimums or like the essential things to playing guitar every day that will pretty much help you in no matter what season of playing you're in. This will make you become better as well. Now, this shouldn't take up your entire playing time or practice time, but I think you should touch on these things every day when you're grabbing the guitar. And if you touch on these things and practice them every day, I can guarantee that you're gonna be getting better at guitar, even if you're only playing 30 minutes a day. All right, and the first one is to make sure you're always practicing rhythm and timing every day. Right? I would actually recommend everything you do, have a thought of the rhythm and the timing behind it. And when I say the word rhythm, I mean it literally playing rhythm, like rhythm guitar. Right? Literally practice rhythm, but it's also being aware of the rhythm that you play everything with and the timing. So always have a metronome going every day and a drum track going every day, or vice versa, whatever it is. Not for speed, but for your rhythm and timing in your feel. Also, I would have a time to practice the essential techniques. And to me, the essential techniques is really, there's just two of them in my opinion, and that's picking some form. There's different forms of picking, but I'm gonna say picking broadly, and then some form of fretting hand technique, mainly like legato, hammer on pull off stuff, but it could be different chord shapes and stuff like that. So make sure every day that you're working on picking and getting that better, and make sure you're working on the fretting hand, getting that better, whether it's hammer on and pull off legato style or chord shapes and scale shape muscle memorization, things like that. Make sure every day you're hitting both of those, and also hitting them together where they're synchronized and they both work together. Next is, for at least for a period until you achieve this, is fretboard knowledge. Okay, and that could either be approached through like the theory side and you're looking at learning the major scale and all that, but simply just being able to see the patterns on the fretboard and know the fretboard in different pattern ways is useful. I recommend the theory way, where you actually know the name of the notes on the fretboard, you understand the whole steps and half steps of the major scale, you understand why the pentatonic shapes are what they are, you understand why chord shapes what they are, arpeggios, triads, all that. But I would recommend nonetheless have a form of that in your daily practice always. Whether it's a scale, triads, learning the notes on the fretboard, anything like that, you need to be touching on that day in and day out. And the next thing I would say, well, I'm kind of group a couple different things together because it's kind of hard to hit everything every day. So I'm just gonna group them together. And that's gonna be compositions, songs, solos, and licks. So have a time every day where you touch on either writing or composing or playing pre-written stuff that you've already worked on in the past. You work on new songs, you work on solos, or licks that you've been learning and practicing. Particularly, I would make sure they're in the kind of direction of your goals in that season that you're in, but just making sure every day you're working on music, because we don't want to get too focused on guitar and we forget about the reality of guitar, and that we're going to put it in music with the band, with the song. We need to do that every day, for we don't get too focused on picking the 5th fret to 6th fret and we're like focused on this like super nerdy guitar technique stuff, and we lose sight of the picture of music and making music and composing music. So make sure every day that you're working on a song that you're writing or you have written, you're working on learning new songs in solos and licks. And then also the last one in part 6 here is just make sure every day when you grab the guitar, you somehow make yourself have fun. Don't have the approach that having fun just happens and you have no control of it. In my opinion, you have full control of having fun on guitar. And I think to achieve your goals of being a better guitar player, if you're not having fun, I don't think you're going to ever achieve your goals. So I would say day in, day out, obviously be disciplined and be all these different things and make sure you're doing the work, but also as part of that, make sure you're having fun. Everything you do on guitar should be having fun. Even if you have to be disciplined with it and you're getting annoyed or you're getting bored or you're not as good as you want to be yet, it doesn't matter. Make sure you're having fun and find those elements. Oh, I have fun when I do this. I have fun when I do that. Oh, if I do this and combine it with this, I can have fun. Just make sure you're always having fun with every aspect of it. And that is on you. It's not something that happens to you. It's you're in control of you're having your own fun and excitement and enjoyment. And you need to lean into that and make sure you are having fun every day when you grab the guitar. Because if you make playing guitar like miserable, disciplined, like a chore every day, you're not going to get better because there's no way you're going to stay the course of time and achieve what you want to achieve and become a better guitar player. All right, I hope you found this video beneficial. Let me know down below what you thought of any of the points or if you want to add anything that you found that works for you in your playing to help you keep getting better at guitar. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.